right, everybody, welcome. All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal.
Didn't work.
All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports.
Maybe I need to. Whatever.
All right, everybody, welcome
everybody
to NorCal Sports Network.
Live from San Diego. Dallas is up in his studio.
And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
I don't know what's going on. Obviously, technology is not working. I'm doing this from my phone. There's Lou right there.
Hey, Lou.
And there's Mark Graves right there. Just had some prime rib tonight here at Bully's East. And Mark and Lou finished off some mud pie. And hey, we went to the Giants game today. And it was pretty much uneventful. That fifth inning, that bottom of the fifth inning was as long as sitting in the sun with a 51-minute inning as the Padres scored 6. But whatever. Hey, Dallas, I'm going to let you take over the show. I'm going to just bow out, and we're going to head back to the hotel. And I'll join you in about 9 o'clock.
All right, sounds good.
So you can just read the chats. I'll let me see if we got any chats in here right now. Giants are
There's
done.
a few.
Bring this one. Show on stage. Giants are done. Bring up Bryce Eldridge. What else we got in here? JK says 27-minute half inning. It wasn't 51 minutes. It was only 27. 51. Oh, the whole inning was 51. Oh, okay. All right. Senior
Still
says
pretty
no
long.
one will like my take. Well, let's have it. What's the take? Giants would have won if they let Verlander stay in. Wait a minute. Oh, that's that Giants coach. Forget it. That's our what do we call him? Nah. Yeah, nah. No more nah. I think that what do you call it? He's a troll. Yeah, Giants coach. He's a troll. All right, so let me get that off the stage. How do I get that? I don't want to hit the wrong buttons in the show. Dan Melvin allowed Verlander to get wrecked. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. Exactly. All right. Well, Dallas is going to take over the show. I'll be back at 9. We'll pick our players of the game, all 3 Padres. Maybe Luis Matos might get in there tonight.
Possibility.
Oh, here's the not a popular take right here. Not a popular take, but if Giants can trade Devers for a legit right fielder this offseason, they need to do it, at least kick tires on it. Eldridge needs to come up and play first base. We aren't competing next year. Yeah, they're not competing for a while. That's for darn sure. But Dallas, take it away. I'll catch you back 9 o'clock-ish. Maybe a little after. We'll see.
All right. Yep. No problem.
Right. Take care.
Yep. So, trading Devers, they just got Devers. I just don't see that happening because they've been trying for so long to get a guy that has some pop. And Devers, I mean, he showed it off tonight with that 435-foot home run, 109 miles an hour off the bat. The guy's got legit power. Yes, he hasn't been off to a great start this season with the Giants, but they've got him for a long time, many years, and they could definitely use him. So I don't think Devers is the problem, but they do have a lot of other players on the team that were probably ill-advised signings, as far as Chapman and Adames, and maybe you can handle one of them on the team, but both together that ends up being kind of a tough go, I think. But yeah, so obviously tonight, pretty bad game. I think it wasn't as disappointing as the previous night because at least they did have a little bit of offense. Couple of garbage time home runs at the end when they were out of it. But it was good to see Matos back in there getting a triple. He hit that ball and was running right out of the box. He was giving it max effort there and made it over to third base just in case the guy happened to screw it up, and he did. And then Kisner knocked him in with the double. So that was good to see. Kind of a promising start for the Giants. And then Verlander couldn't get the job done. He went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned. Walked 1, struck out 4, but not the Verlander we've seen the previous 4 starts. He was just didn't have it tonight. And kind of the theme that we've been seeing is Melvin leaving pitchers in a little bit too long. I think every game of this series we've seen that. If they had taken the pitcher out earlier by a couple of batters or an inning or whatever the case may be, they would have done better. I mean, I guess that's kind of the case generally. Anytime a pitcher gives up a bunch of runs, obviously taking them out an inning before would be a better decision. So hindsight is 20/20, but giving up 7, it was over. And this team, if they don't get a good pitching performance from their starting pitcher, they're not going to win, and that was the case tonight. Only other bright spot that I really saw was Peguero major league debut, pitched 2 innings, walked a guy, but gave up no hits. So that was good. But there was some sloppy defense that in the, I think it was the 5th inning where they really, really blew up. And Casey Schmidt had a terrible throw, and it was compounded by the fact that Matos tried to field it barehanded, and it was a disaster. That inning was a disaster, and that's what Dan was referring to when he was sitting in the stands there for 51 minutes in an inning. So not a good game, not a good series. The Giants lose 2 of 3 and are just leaking oil bad. They won the 2 games, the last game of the previous series and the first game of this series, and you're thinking, okay, maybe there's something's going on here. And then this team shows up for the last 2 games and not fun at all. So I'll read some of your comments here. Got a lot of hot ones on the table here tonight. I can't actually show your comments, so I just have to read them. I don't have access to click on them and put them up on the screen. But senior softball games, Devers is the root of the problem, and he is a one-dimensional player who only brings occasional power and blocking your number 1 prospects. Well, the problem with the blocking of the prospect is that you have 2 positions. You have DH and you have first base. One is going to play one is going to play the other, or they'll switch off multiple days. You might have Devers play DH one day and then play first the next day, and they'll just switch off back and forth. The issue is neither one of them is a good first baseman. We don't know. All reports say that Eldridge is a long way from even being an average first baseman. So it might be a while before we see Eldridge. But once he can come up and play a serviceable first base, then you're going to have 2 mediocre first basemen. Devers, he's made some good plays, but also he's a little bit slow out there. And so he's going to have some errors also. It really just depends on what they want to do. But you do have 2 positions, so there is room for both Eldridge and Devers. Devers might want to play a position, but it really comes down to what's better for the team. Is it better for him to be out there playing defense if he can handle it. And then it really just depends on Eldridge. Does he really want to play a position, or is he happy to be a DH? Is that his personality? You don't like a young 20-year-old to just be a DH. That's just not a recipe for success, because if you can develop it into a halfway decent first baseman, that's really helpful. So it remains to be seen, but I think it's going to be more seasoning for Eldridge. And if they do bring him up, he'll probably get the lion's share of the duties at DH, and then Wilmer will just be a kind of a pinch hitting situation. And then you'll have Dom Smith to come in for defensive purposes. Giants are done. Bring up Bryce Eldridge now. Dallas and your co-host. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I'll read your messages. Giants are done, but I can't bring you in as a co-host. I don't have any control over this thing. I can only talk and read your comments. Let's see here. Justin Verlander is done. That could be. He had a bad outing tonight, but he did have his best outings of the season the last 4 starts. So, and his best outing of the season, his last start. So it's really too early to tell for Verlander. You're going to need some starting pitching with Roop out. Kaiwei Tang sent down today. They're going to bring back Wisenhunt, but you're still short a starter, and it's going to be stopgaps. So you're going to need Verlander to eat some innings before the end of the season. How he does doesn't really matter at this point. We just need to see what the Giants have with the young kids. Verlander has 3,500 strikeouts. Giants coach 123. Oh yeah, he's a big Verlander fan. Let's see here. Melvin doesn't know Anthony Millard. Melvin doesn't know how to manage his team. He has made some questionable decisions this year, and it's up in the air whether some of his players are in open rebellion. There's a lot of analyzing whether they're arguing with him or they're just having a enthusiastic discussion. Hard to say. Jay Case, he was given 0 recovery time in between innings. Giants non-competitive at bats. He'd have 5 mins max. Tough assignment. That is true, Jay. I mean, the Giants offense is so inept that when they go 1, 2, 3 and they're just taking a couple of pitches apiece, the pitcher doesn't get much time to rest in between innings. And you do get experienced catchers and things like that. They do know to take extra pitches and try and prolong at bats. You used to be able to step out of the box unlimited number of times and really delay the game and give pitchers rest time. But with the pitch clock, you don't have that anymore. So there's maybe creative ways you could do it. But I think when the Giants go down 1, 2, 3 quickly, now we're not going to make excuses. That was just a pretty bad performance. I don't think any amount of rest in between innings would have made that much of a difference, but it's possible. Let's see here. Hilliard Dilpree can't see the water from petrol, unlike the Oracle. Okay. I must be talking about Petco. Uncle Rico, thank you, babyface man, for hitting a homer. At least there was some bright spot in this game. I saw the 435-foot home run was the longest home run by an opposing player at Petco this season. So that's pretty good. Too bad it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But when Devers is hot, and if he has been hitting some home runs lately, you just want to see him getting comfortable in this Giants lineup and delivering power, because that's what they brought him in for. Jay Case, the Padres look like they're the team to beat. Every batter was a hitter battling 8, 9 pitch at bats. Yeah, that's right. The Padres are, they could win the division. It's going to be tough for them, but they have that possibility, especially now that they've extended their bullpen and really locked that down. So Dodgers need to look out. It's going to be an interesting to see how this season finishes out between the Padres and the Dodgers. Let's see what else we got here. Senior Software, where are you seeing these reports? He's playing a very good first base. I'm just using the eye test. I mean, he hasn't been committing errors, but I don't think his range is that good. Balls in the dirt, he's actually been surprisingly good at fielding the balls in the dirt, but he's not. And I was impressed, Senior, by his throw over to third base the other day, where he picked off. I can't remember who it was now, but having that third base arm over there is a plus. So, I actually thought that Devers would be a liability at first base, and he's actually surprised me and been better than I thought he would. So, jury's still out on that. At this point, you're right, though. I would rather have Devers at first base than Eldridge, and maybe it's just better to DH Eldridge at this point. Or in the offseason, get him shagging some fly balls and seeing if maybe he could be an outfielder, because they do need to find a place for him, I think, for him to use his glove other than just DH. Uncle Rico says, put him in the outfield and call it a day. Yeah, that could be. The season started. Robert Rothberg is here tonight. Poor Robert. It's pretty depressing where the Giants are now. It's hard to keep that upbeat positivity. The season started so promising. What happened? Yeah, what happened? That is a question that I have been asking myself, and it's hard to comprehend what happened, because this team was scrappy the first half of the year. They were winning all these one-run games. They had many walk-off victories, in the ninth inning and extra innings, and they were a fun team to watch. And then they hit a wall, and something happened, and they're playing sloppy. They're not hitting clutch. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. 0 for 11, or they had 11 strikeouts tonight, and they had 6 last night. But then the previous 3 games they had over 10 strikeouts. Striking out 10 times a game, that is just inexcusable. These are professional hitters. They need to be put together more professional at-bats and at least put the ball in play. I mean, the strikeouts are ridiculous. If you strike out 10 times, that's 10 times that the ball is not in play, which means you have 0 chance of it finding a hole, of it being a hit. So just getting the ball in play gives you a much better chance, of piecing something together offensively, because when you strike out, there's no chance. I mean, the guy could drop the ball and you could run down to first base, but not very likely. So my suggestion is put the ball in play. Let's see here. Was it Verlander's fault that Casey forgot how to play defense? No, that one wasn't Verlander's fault. That was pretty bad. Casey, I mean, you got to call him out when he makes mistakes, and he's made a few the last couple of days. It seems like, he's playing his natural position, and he's gotten this opportunity to play, and he's trying to make the most of it. He's trying to make every play and be impressive, and he's pushing it a little too hard. He's taking risks. He needs to learn how to eat, when that's the situation. Hey, Dan, welcome back.
Hey, how you doing, Dallas? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, give us some Petco stories.
Well, it wasn't a full house today. I think the Padre fans are saving up for tomorrow night and this weekend with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are coming to town, and I think people, it was warm out there today, and the park's beautiful. It's just a really excellent way to run they run the everything first class, their scoreboard with their players. In between innings, they do some fun stuff with the fans. Just overall, a great venue. If you haven't been there to Petco, you got to go. This is, I was there a couple years ago, and
Yeah,
it's
I've been
just a
a
beautiful
couple
ballpark.
different times, and it's a fun place to see a ball game. But the crowd, the Padres fans are re-energized this year. It seems like even the last few years they've really been.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're all sold out and bought into the Padres, and it's a fun
yeah,
place to see a game, or just from what I've seen. And
absolutely.
I have some friends that live down there.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, and the stadium. I think the stadium itself, just the stadium, I like it better than Oracle. I think Oracle's views are, just pristine. Hard to beat
Sure.
the views of Oracle with the goal with the Bay Bridge and the city skyline, and then you've got, of course, McCovey Cove and all the water shots and everything. But
Yeah.
the stadium itself is pretty nice. Although I do love this, I love the club level for the Giants. Their club level's nice because it's got, it's wide and it's carpeted and it's just really nice. But anyway, um, rough game again. I mean, the Giants, to me, Dallas, they just look like they're done. They look very flat. Um, I'll say this about, the lineup today. How many strikeouts? I don't have the box score in front of me. It was over 10 again,
11.
I'm pretty sure.
11.
Okay. Yeah. And Matos only struck out once, but he did get the 2 hits. He was gifted the triple early on, but his later hit, he just poked it in to the outfield. I like how he doesn't strike out. I want a little bet at the end of the game. I said Koss is going to strike out here. You watch, and I won a bet with one of the guys at the game. It wasn't Lou, but it was another one of the guys. And then it was yelling when Bailey came up at the end. I go, I guarantee he strikes out. Guarantee it. Look, uh, Koss. I don't. I'm not crazy about Koss. I see a guy that's a 4A player. I know he's done some nice things, but I think the party's over on Koss. Okay. Everybody's all excited, Koss. You play him. I've said this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Play Koss every day. They'll figure him out. There's a reason he wasn't in the big leagues until basically this year. He's not going
Yeah.
to be anything special. I'm hearing people, play Koss next year. Put him in the lineup every day. He's not an
No,
everyday player.
but I do think he should get a shot to play. I mean, why not? Who else you got to
At
put
this
there?
point, yeah. I mean, as long as Chapman's out and Casey's at third.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see Koss than Wisely. I'd rather see Koss than Fitzgerald. So,
Yeah.
I think give him some run. Going through the rest of the season, if he's playing pretty well, you just keep playing him.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little dark out here. Here, I'm on the patio, and just kind of getting some cooler air, which I don't get in Arizona at 9 o'clock at night. So I'm enjoying some cooler air, but I'm turning this around because I can't. Let me put this comment up. I'll let you read the comments. I'll put them up there. You got this one from Turd with
What
he saying here?
happened? The start was a farce. They morphed into exactly who they are, an average at best, but more likely a below average caliber MLB team. Yeah, I mean, they haven't played well. I think probably this team is probably somewhere in the middle. They started out hot. They were better than what they should have been. And then this last stretch, they've been worse than they should be. But, you end up in the end with a 500 team, and that's not what we're buying tickets for. That's not what we're spending our time watching this game for. So they need to do better. And I'm sure Buster realizes that.
Yeah, I don't think they're a 500 team at this point, sadly. They look to me maybe 76, 77 wins at best right now. They're just, they're going to be lucky to get there. They really are. This this just looks like
Yeah.
a defeated team, and the flight
Well,
to
yeah, and the
Milwaukee is not a
pitching,
great flight.
no, but the pitching also is very suspect with Roop out and Verlander leaking oil now after this start tonight. Wisenhunt you can't depend on. Kaiwei Tang you can't depend on. He's been sent down. So who's going to pitch? At the very best you can win 2 out of 5, and if the offense doesn't show up, you're going to win 1 out of 5. So, that's not a recipe for success.
I agree with you. I can't get this. How can I get myself centered on this camera? I should have known better, knowing how this team's built, to predict that they would win in the mid 80s. I should have known that their pitching was a disaster beyond Webb and Ray. And then you had Roop for a while. I knew Verlander was not going to be consistent. I thought Birdsong would be better, but I didn't think it would last the season. I knew Roop wouldn't last the season. And then Harrison, when they had him, remember this team thought they had an abundance of pitching and they could trade from their abundance. And again, goes back to the front office being very inexperienced, thinking they had. Remember, they were talking, we have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You had a good first half.
Right, they did. And the numbers back that up. I mean, they pitched really well the first half. But you can never have too much pitching, and when you deal a starting pitcher, even though he wasn't performing that well, but that takes the depth away. Guys get hurt, that takes the depth away. You trade out your two of your best relievers. How are you going to keep afloat? It's important to, if you're trying to compete, you don't trade your pitching. So
by the way, Duvall blew another save for the Yankees tonight. He pitched a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, a hits batsman, and blew the save for the Yankees. He is not going to make it out of there in New York. They are going to just have that kid traumatized.
Don't you feel bad for him a little bit? I mean, at least here, he had it a lot better than he thought he did, I think. Because here the fans are generally supportive. There, if you make mistakes, you really get blown up. It gets, the heat gets turned up really hot. So I don't know. Maybe he probably wanted out of San Francisco. Probably wanted to go somewhere else. The big city, the big lights, the big stage. Well, careful what you wish for. Now, I have no idea if he wanted out or not.
Yeah.
But the impression I got was maybe he wasn't happy here.
Yeah. This comment by Chad, do they look
as disjointed live as they do on TV? What do you think, Dan?
Yes. They're just boring. From my angle, I was down the third base, pretty close to the third base bag. They just look very lethargic out there. The Padres gifted them the first couple of runs with the misplayed ball from Tatis in right field. He called for.
Dan's internet is breaking up a little bit, but we'll get him back when his signal improves. All In says Melvin canned. I don't know if that's the case yet, but it might happen in the offseason if they continue to not get this ship righted. Verlander has 1 win. Yes. The Giants won the Duvall trade, Johnny. Yeah, certainly at this point they did. I mean, a lot of people thought the Giants could get more for Duvall because they seem to have gotten more for Rodgers than they did Duvall. But that might be a reflection on how good Duvall actually is. People, I mean, other teams know, they watch the tape. They know the problems Doval has had. So it's possible that other teams realize that, hey, this is a risk that you're taking trading for this guy. He has issues. He has issues with the pitch clock. He has issues with command. He has issues keep holding runners on. They run all over him. He gets wild at times. He hits guys. And the wheels fall off. And then on top of that, his demeanor, and whether it's true or not, he acts like he doesn't care. When things are going bad, tranquilo Camilo is probably not the way you want to convey how you're feeling. But not our problem anymore. I feel bad for him, but the Giants probably got out of that right when they should. So good for them. Johnny says, Dallas, someone has to be the fall guy. Well, it's probably going to be Bob Melvin. A lot of players coming to his defense because the fans are all over Melvin right now, but it's going to really be interesting to see what happens this offseason, because if they continue to slide and they finish multiple games under 500, then I don't see a way that they keep him. You can't go into another season and just keep things status quo and expect things to be different. So, yeah, I don't think so. We'll see, though. What does it happen during the season? I doubt it. I don't think that that Buster is that reactionary, and I think that him and Doval have a relationship that will give him the courtesy of allowing him to finish out the season. So we'll see, but that's my take on that. Dan, did you watch Devers' home run?
Yeah, that was a blast. He hit that
Yeah,
good.
109 off the bat and
440-ish,
432.
roughly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 432.
435.
Oh, okay. It looked deep. Yeah, it looked deep. Sorry, I lost.
Someone said
I forgot my.
It's all right. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I was sitting out here on the balcony and I forgot to. Let's
see if it. Oh, he disconnected again. Yeah. So big home run. But yeah, like Johnny says, yeah, we'll see about Melvin. Wait, Dan, you're from Arizona. Why are you a true Giants fan? Well, Dan is from the Bay Area, and but he's down in Arizona now. 74 and 88. Oh, yeah. For their final record. I mean, at this rate, yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be that bad if they continue to play like this. And the Giants have the capability of getting hot. They've done it before several times this season, where they beat good teams, and put together a streak. But without the pitching, Giants are going to have a tough time doing that. If all you have is Webb and Ray and three unknowns, you don't know who's going to show up each day, then it's tough to have a winning record at all. So going the rest of the way, it's not likely that things are gonna turn around. But you never know. At this point, though, I'm not looking at the playoffs. I'm looking at learning as much as we can about the players we have going into next season. We need to use these next games as for information gathering, and maybe we can take away some things. Maybe Devers finishes out the season strong, so we have confidence in him going into next season. Maybe Jung-Hoo Lee finishes strong, and we can, he can carry that into next year. Yeah, I think playoffs. I mean, we've been saying it for a long time, but not. It's to the point now where it's just highly unlikely, and we really should. It's just not your best use of time continuing to keep hope alive as far as that goes. Are you looking at Niners news? Facepalm. Has there been breaking news in the last half hour? Let me know if there has been, because I haven't seen anything while I've been on this chat. Dallas, I'm keeping Lee at leadoff. Yeah, Johnny, I completely agree. At this point, when there's lefty, where there's righty, you're switching things around. But Lee is your only typical leadoff hitter on the team. Why don't you have him lead off every single day? And he's been good there lately. So I don't know why you keep changing it. I would leave him there and let him get comfortable in that position. I don't see why the constant shuffle. Johnny's gearing up for 49ers football. Yes, it's coming very soon. What are we down to? 2 weeks? 2 weeks from tonight is the first game. Is that right? Not the first Niner game, but the first NFL game. NFL first game 2025. September 4th. So, yes, 2 weeks. Dan is trying to get back in. There he is. He's back inside where the internet's stronger. Can you hear me, Dan? Senior, he's an aging 28-year guy who's been breaking down. If you can trade him for a legit right fielder, need to explore that. Eldridge is ready. Sure, he will have growing pains, but his bat will play. We don't know if Eldridge is ready. He's never had a big league at bat yet. So, I mean, he's probably exhausted what he can accomplish in AAA, but there will be growing pains. But I agree, Senior. At this point, what do you have to lose? You bring him up, you let him DH, you let him gain experience against major league at bats. If he's not ready, then he could just start the adjustment period now, because he probably is not ready. But how do you get ready? You practice, you gain experience against elite pitching, and he would have the opportunity to do that for however many games are left, 40 games that don't count. If you just have written off the season as a extended spring training going the rest of the way, spring training playing against competition that actually needs to win and actually needs to compete, instead of in spring training, no one really has to win. People are playing for jobs, but it doesn't matter. But the rest of this season is an opportunity to play against teams that are playing for something and they want to beat you. So you can get really good experience the rest of this year playing these teams, playing legit teams, playing legit pitching. So, yeah, I'm with you, Senior. At this point, you could put him at first too. Let him gain experience there. What's it matter if you're going to lose anyway? So you might as well get the experience. Yeah, Johnny, he's probably not ready, but what's it matter? Get the experience. So I'm Senior's talking me into this. The more I'm thinking, it's more and more likely to me that we're going to see him soon, especially if he's hitting home run every single night. Hit one tonight at 111 miles an hour. I just saw that in the chat. I don't know if that's true or not, but my gosh, 20-year-old kid with that much power, that would be something. Okay. Let's see what we got here. 994 fielding percentage. Okay. Put him at first. Let's see what he can do. From what I heard from when, interviews on KMVR with JT Snow and with Buster and with a lot of people, they're saying, slow your roll. He's not quite ready defensively, but, if he's got the numbers, sure. Why not? NorCal fan, would you move Ramos if he could bring back some studs? His best position is DH, and the Giants are stacked there. NorCal fan, I think we need to explore every option. You have to listen to see what you can get for these players. Ramos is homegrown. He hit, for the best average on the team this year. I mean, the fact that it's 265 or something like that is an indictment on the Giants offense as a whole. But, and then defensively, he's had his struggles. Base running, he's had his struggles. But he's still young. It's only his second full season. and you'd have to get something good for him. But they will need to move somebody probably, because they're the positions are all filled up. You have third base spoken for, shortstop spoken for, center field spoken for, first base spoken for with Devers and Eldridge. You've got DH spoken for. There's not very many positions left. You got catcher, you've got second base if you're not sold on Schmidt, and you got right field. So if you can move somebody else, then you have more flexibility to improve the team. So they have to listen for everybody. Listen on Ramos, listen on Jung-Hoo Lee, listen on Bailey, listen on whoever, Chapman, if there's a possibility. So, yeah, I think they need to be flexible and try and be open-minded about improving this team. Dan, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I don't know. Technical difficulties. Everything went kaputs on me again. So I hear you're talking about maybe just getting the regular guys to be playing the rest of the season. I mean, the young guys, getting the young guys in.
Young guys playing the rest of the season. Eldridge hit another home run tonight, 111 miles an hour off the bat. And we're talking about why not let him gain experience against big league pitching the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Why not go the rest of the season with Matos and the rest of the way? If you want to get Gilbert some at bats, you can find at bats for him with benching Lee, giving Lee a little bit of day off, giving Ramos some time off. There's only 34 games left. I got a feeling they've been listening to NorCal Sports Network and decided, you know what? Now's the time to let Matos play the final 35. It was a right-handed pitcher in Cease. The Padres then went to Estrada, and then Estrada, I think they went to Morjan. They went to Mason Miller. Then they went to Suarez. Look, let me say this about the Padres, guys. If you want to know, if you're a Giants fan and you think the Giants are all that, look, Bob Melvin was the manager of the Padres, and they let him go, AJ Preller, when he was still under contract, basically. They just let the Giants take him, and they hired Mike Schilt. And this guy knows how to run a bullpen and how to go for the win. It was 8-4, and Wilmer Flores was coming up to pinch hit for Dominic Smith against the lefty Morjan. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it right, but you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. I don't know where Dallas went. I can't see him, but
Yeah,
maybe he's there with you guys. Having trouble connecting. Okay, this is rough tonight. I need Starlink for the road. Exactly, Dom. I do need Starlink.
yeah, they're going to, Johnny. It's just he's a little bit hurt right now. So once he's well, then we'll see him.
Let me see if I can go back in the hotel, get a little in the room, and get a little bit more coverage. I don't know what's going on here.
Are you on the hotel Wi-Fi, Dan?
All right. So I don't know if Dallas is around. What happened
I'm here.
to him? Let me see. Sorry about this, guys. Anyway, the Padres manager does not mess around. You're talking, Dan. I can't.
Yeah.
There you are. There you are.
You got me now? Okay.
Okay, it's probably me. I'm like I said, the internet's so screwed up in these hotels. I was just saying the Padres don't mess around. They went to pinch hit. Melvin brings up Wilmer Flores to because the lefty's in there. And what does Schilt do? He counters with Mason Miller, and Miller promptly, boom, gets him out, strikes him out. And then the next batter, I don't even know who it was, got out, I think. And then in the ninth inning, they went to Suarez. Melvin thought, oh, these guys aren't probably going to do anything. He got Schilt, outmanaged him again.
Right. But that's not how the Giants would. They would play their guys, at that point they wouldn't be playing that aggressively with that lead, So it's like they're stepping on the Giants' throat with a 6-run lead, even though, or a 5-run or 4-run lead at that point. But they know a win is a win, and you need to get this win, so they're not letting up at all.
Giants coach. Yeah, that's right. I am from Arizona. Right now, I grew up in the Bay Area. I was a longtime Giant fan. I lived in the Bay Area. I was born, raised, went to all my school through the Bay Area, and yeah, I now live in Arizona. But you know what? You are now non-existent on this show. See ya. Okay. Banned.
Goodbye.
Coach will have to come up with another name. Let's see. He's gone from what he used to be to coach. So we just keep banning you, dude. Keep coming back.
Out of here.
I love it. You're welcome. Everybody loves getting rid of the turd. So we got rid of him. Thanks for getting rid of the troll, says NorCal fan. Yep. We don't have time.
All right, Dan, you want to do some players of the game while we got a good internet connection?
Sure. Why don't we do that? I am not even looking at the because I'm on my phone, so I'm not even looking at the box score. So I will have to go by memory of just watching the game.
Yeah, general impressions.
General impressions, very flat. Just hard to watch. But you know what? They got a couple of. I'll just make it easy. I will go. How about if I go one? I'll go back a third. I'll go Adames, Devers, Matos. How's that? Matos got 2 hits, even though one was a gift. And but he was out there, played good out in right field. Although he did kind of Schmidt on the throwing error from Schmidt that went down the line allowed the runner to go
committed
to third.
a second error,
but they didn't give it to him.
They did, yeah.
They did end up giving it to him.
Yes,
okay,
they did.
Okay,
there's 2 errors on the same play.
Yeah, I thought I only saw one on the scoreboard, but
in the box score they have 2, so they must have awarded him the error for trying to barehand it and messing it up.
Yeah, yep. I do have a quick trigger finger with trolls. Absolutely. Till we get to Larry Krueger stage where we get 60,000 and we don't even think about what anybody's saying. We're still small enough where we could. We're growing and we're getting bigger, but we're small enough where we can just recognize who the trolls are and just get rid of them.
Yeah, but also small enough where you can actually read individual comments and it's not just, all a big blur of text flowing by. So I agree on the Devers. That was a big home run. I'm going to give one to Kisner for knocking in Matos. So he got that triple, but without Kisner knocking him in, then it wouldn't have led to anything. So that was good. And then Joel Peguero, 2 scoreless innings in his major league debut. So good for him.
All right. Very good. I like that. I thought Joel Peguero would be good. Yeah. I like that. I see this comment from Bob Grinke. Says, Danny, you need to call it a night. Free hotel internet not suitable for producing a show. You're correct. This is the broadcasting equivalent of the Golden Sombrero. Yeah, you know what? I am going to probably do that. I am going to let Dallas finish the show. How long you want to go, Dallas? And then I'll just stay in the background and
Just
produce
play
what I
play
can.
the music and I'll close it out.
You ready to head out? Okay, let me see
Yeah,
if I can get the music. Dallas will be back tomorrow night at probably 8:30. While Lou and I are, you know what? We're going to try and figure a way to watch this Dodger Padre game. I'm talking to Lou and say, see if we can figure a way to get into the stadium. That would be electric to watch a Dodger Padre game, with the division on the line. But if not, we'll be pulling into some place and pulling up and watching it on TV. So let me see if I can get the music on here for you guys, and hopefully the volume's not too loud. This is totally different on the phone, but here we go. Let's see. I think I may be able to have it here. How we go? There's a delay. I hit it like 5 seconds ago. It just doesn't want to play.
well, that's all right. So tomorrow we've got Hunt taking the mound against Jose Quintana. Guess what? Another lefty. 3.32 earned run average. There's the music.
Oh, I paused it. There we go.
Oh, it paused.
Yeah, it'll start back up again. Tell me when it starts.
All right, we're waiting. But yeah, another lefty tomorrow. I think they're just stacking the lineup because they know the Giants can't hit them. So, Hunt gets another chance due to the injury issues the Giants have, and we'll see what he can bring to the table. Hopefully, he can eat some innings and give the Giants a chance to win. But at this point, we just want to see a better brand of baseball. Let's keep it competitive and avoid the mistakes and just play a nice, clean game. If we could do that, I would be much more enthusiastic about just watching this team the rest of the way. Because when it's messy and when they're inept and they strike out 11 times, it's tough to watch. So hopefully they can turn that around at least, because it's been rough lately, and we deserve better.
Yeah, rough. I predicted the score last night 7-5. Padres, not too far off, 8-4. Pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Very close.
And I think I'll take the Brewers tomorrow since they're throwing another lefty, and it doesn't really matter. They are the Milwaukee Brewers, and this is the San Francisco Giants. And the Brewers won today against the Cubs. They're going to be riding it much higher. The Giants are going to be pretty low on that flight from San Diego to Milwaukee, which isn't, a short little flight to just go play 3 games, right? I mean, it's kind of like off the beaten path. You're you're down, and then you got to take a roughly a 4-hour flight, 3.5 4-hour flight to Milwaukee to play 3 games against the best team in baseball right now, record wise. So I think the Giants are in trouble this weekend. I'm going to take the Brewers tomorrow in I think I'll go, see, Hunt on the mound, 7-1. 7-1 Milwaukee.
All right, I'll go 8-3.
8-3 Brewers?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of rough here on NorCal Sports Network when we're picking the other team night after night. Hey guys, I forgot to thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group, at the beginning. Make sure you check out Chapman Law Group at 415-613-9483 for all your legal needs. We thank Chapman Law Group. They specialize in personal injury. You got a personal injury or know of a friend or family member, make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call at 415-613-9483. All right, Dallas, I guess the music didn't play, huh? We never got the music.
Yeah, it stopped. That's okay though.
All right.
We can go out with a whimper tonight, kind of like the Giants have been. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
We had it.
Is it playing again?
It played for a second and then stopped.
It's not. It's just like,
There. Oh, you had
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't know why I can't hear it. So let's see if we play a different song. How about if then maybe it'll work, because when I hit it twice, it pauses and it doesn't come back. So let's try. Let's try. We got some chickens clucking here.
Not yet.
No chickens.
Nope.
Nope.
I got a horse though. Oh, there's the chickens.
You got the horse? Send us out with the horse. We'll get the horses tomorrow at Del Mar. Lou is busy right now. It looks like over his shoulder. Lou is handicapping right now. There he is. He's getting the sheet. We got the horse going. Look at this. He's got all the races. This man is a legend.
We got no video, Dan, so we have to just imagine.
No video? Okay, no video. Just my voice. Okay. All right. Well, Lou's over here with all the cards, the sheet, and figuring out who to bet on tomorrow. So, you guys want to come join us some trip when we go to another track? Let us know. All right. We'll let this thing end out, and we will head out of here. You got any? We don't have any. We can't play your music because it's not approved. There we go. There we go. They're off and racing.
See you tomorrow.
All right. See you guys. Take care. See you tomorrow night.